Welcome, and thank you for watching the Brazilian Blowout training video. Throughout this presentation, you will learn how to successfully perform a Brazilian Blowout professional treatment within your salon. This treatment will take you approximately 90 minutes from start to finish, and your clients will leave with smooth, frizz-free, and manageable hair. Step 1. Wash the hair with Brazilian Blowout Anti-Residue Professional Shampoo. Wash the hair with the Brazilian Blowout Anti-Residue Professional Shampoo. It may take 2 to 3 plus washes to get the hair squeaky clean. You will need the hair to be squeaky clean in order to properly perform the Brazilian Blowout treatment, as the solution will more effectively deposit into and bond to the hair when the hair is as clean and porous as possible. Be sure to scrub the hairline, nape of the neck, and mid-shaft down. If you are questioning if the hair is clean enough, go ahead and shampoo again. Step 2. Towel dry the hair. Towel dry the hair until damp. You want the hair to be approximately 75 to 85% dry. You want the hair to have moisture in it while applying the Brazilian Blowout Professional solution, so it will distribute easily throughout the hair. Step 3. Divide the hair into 4 sections. Once the hair is damp, you will divide the hair into 4 sections. 2 sections at the top of the head and 2 sections at the back of the head. Step 4. Apply Brazilian Blowout Professional solution. Now you are ready to apply the Brazilian Blowout Professional solution. Remember, less is more, and you will always measure by the capful. A good rule of thumb is, if your client has short hair, you will use approximately 1 capful of solution. If your client has medium-length hair, you will use approximately 2 capfuls. And if your client has long hair, you will use approximately 3 capfuls. If the hair needs more or less solution, add as needed. Now you will begin applying the Brazilian Blowout Professional solution. You always start from the bottom sections of the hair and work your way to the top of the head. Apply the solution from the root of the hair to the end of the hair. When applying the solution, lightly dust the hair with the solution rather than saturating the hair. Once the solution is applied, you will pull the solution through the hair with your comb from root to end. Make sure you apply the solution directly to the root, but not to the scalp, as this is not a scalp treatment, rather a hair treatment. If you run your comb through the hair and there is a buildup on the comb, you can always pull down the next section of hair and marry them together. It is very important to pay close attention when applying the solution to the hairline, as this is common for clients to have frizzy hair around the temple area and the nape of the neck. Step 5. Blow dry the hair. Once you've applied the Brazilian Blowout Professional solution to the entire head, the next step is to blow the hair dry. You can use either a paddle brush or a round brush, whichever is your professional preference. It is important during this step to get the hair as smooth as possible, so when you go in to flat iron the hair, the iron will glide through the hair nicely. Step 6. Flat iron the hair to seal in the Brazilian Blowout solution. This is the most important step in performing the Brazilian Blowout, as this is when you are sealing the Brazilian Blowout solution into the hair and providing that protective protein layer around the hair that allows for the longest lasting result possible. It is important during this step to ask the client how he or she wears their hair. Which way do they part or style their hair? This will assist you in directing the flat iron the proper way when at the top of the head. To perform the flat ironing step, you will need a 450-degree flat iron. The hair needs to once again be divided into 4 separate sections. You will start from the back of the head and work your way to the top. When working within these 4 sections, you will take 2 to 3 inch sections of hair and apply the flat iron from root to end using the same tension or pressure all the way down the hair shaft. Flat iron each section of hair at least 3 to 4 times, again using the same tension or pressure from root to end. For a straighter result, or while working on very curly or frizzy hair, you will take 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch sections and go over the hair at least 5 to 8 times with the flat iron, as this will allow the heat to penetrate evenly throughout the entire head of hair. When flat ironing the hairline, don't be afraid to get in very close and really pull the hair, making it as flat and smooth as possible. The more tension you can use with your flat iron from root to end, the better your end result. Step 7. Rinse solution from the hair. When finished with the flat iron, you will now bring the client back to the shampoo bowl, where you will rinse the hair. You are not washing the hair, just rinsing the hair, using warm water. Next, apply a generous amount of the Brazilian Blowout Deep Conditioning Mask and run this through your client's hair using your fingers. Leave the mask on your client's hair for approximately 60 seconds and then rinse. Step 8. Apply the Brazilian Blowout Daily Smoothing Serum. Prior to blow drying, apply the Brazilian Blowout Daily Smoothing Serum and style as usual. Apply from just above the midshaft, and then you can work the product back up through the hair. Step 9. Blow dry the hair one final time. Blow dry the hair using a flat or a round brush and style your client's hair as desired. Brazilian Blowout Advanced Training Techniques. Here are some advanced techniques on how to customize the Brazilian Blowout Professional Smoothing Treatment. Technique 1. To keep and/or add volume to the hair. If you have a client who is extremely concerned about keeping their volume in their hair, you can always customize the treatment by applying the solution about 2+ inches away from the root. This will allow them to keep volume at their root. If the client has very frizzy or curly hair, you would never want to do this, as you will always apply directly to the root to rid them of all of that curl or frizz. If you have already applied the solution all the way to the root and the client would still like volume in their hair, you can always over-direct the flat iron to create this volume. Technique 2. Hair extensions. When performing a Brazilian blowout on a client with hair extensions, be careful to apply this solution at least 1 inch or more away from the bond. The Brazilian blowout acts as a deep conditioning treatment. Therefore, if the solution is applied directly to the bond, you may experience slippage. Technique 3. Short hair. When performing a Brazilian blowout on short hair, you need to be sure you really get in there with the flat iron and provide extreme tension while going over the hair. Technique 4. Flat iron temperature. If you are working on hair that is extremely compromised or with a lot of breakage, it is best to turn down the temperature of the flat iron. We suggest taking a very small section at the back of the neck to test at a lower temperature. You can always customize the flat iron temperature for different areas of the hair. The Brazilian Blowout Açaí Aftercare line. To guarantee your clients the best possible result from the Brazilian Blowout Professional Treatment, it is imperative that they maintain the treatment with the Açaí retail products. These products are specially formulated to maintain and extend the life of the Brazilian blowout. They work in conjunction with the treatment to help minimize frizz, create shine, and further treat and condition the hair. While using the Brazilian Blowout Açaí products, the hair is further fortified with the Brazilian Super Nutrient Complex. Therefore, the treatment results will last longer and always allow the treatment to be at its very best. Congratulations, you're one step closer to becoming a Brazilian Blowout certified stylist. We thank you and look forward to partnering with you.